Hi. I'm still alive. Yeah, it's been a little bit. A little over a year. Oops. Yeah. We got a lot to talk about. But before we get into that, let's get the stream going. We're gonna be playing some Katamari. So that'll be pretty fun. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna turn down my volume a little bit. Let's see if the music is too loud. I think that should be okay. I'm a little sick, so you know, that's fun. But yeah, let's get going. So I figured we'd play Katamari to start because it's nice and chill, and I've been playing it and I just want to do some level catch up before I, collect all the crowns and stuff like that. All my Katamari cousins. So let's go get into it. I wanted to do this one first. So I'm gonna be sniffling, I'm gonna probably cough at least once, so let's get that out of the way. I've also got my water here, so I'm gonna be drinking that. I decided to do this one as a multi-stream, because I'm thinking about streaming more to YouTube a little bit, but we'll see. Mouse, get out of here. Okay. So, I'm gonna skip all the dialogue and stuff because we're just gonna be chilling here. Oh, I remember this one. Okay, so we gotta catch the little wisps. Okay. Whoops. Nobody said I was good at this game either, so don't expect much. But I figured it'd be a good chill start. So let's talk about life. How you guys been? turn, Katamari. Oops. Is it gonna be down here or is it gonna be over there? Oh my god, there's rocks here. Okay. So, let's see, where do I start? I guess we could start at the beginning. Beginning of time. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I think last time I talked with you guys was maybe before I was going into the hospital, to have my daughter. So it's been a little bit. First off, right off the bat, everything's good. She's good. We're home, But it's been an adventure for sure. So, at some point you might hear her in the background, or I might need to walk away. So, just be prepared for that. But yeah, so I was going to, or well, I got a C-section in November of last year. So November 2024. So I guess it's 2 years ago now. Oh my god, no, it's a year. It's because the time, it's 2026 now, and that's messing with me. And so she was born, and C-sections are really freaky. I might have talked about it. I might have done a stream. I don't think so. Because I felt pretty awful after my C-section. But I like was surprised because for me, it wasn't the C-section that was the worst part. Like the C-section pain of like, you know, being cut open. I had this like weird side effect thing where like I actually experienced severe shoulder pain. And that was really bad. That was actually where I was like suffering. The actual like incision pain was bad, but it wasn't anything as bad as the shoulder pain. So I was pretty beat up for a little bit. It was really hard because I had my daughter at the Children's Hospital in Boston, and so it's, I don't know, they have like weird rules, but the way that it works is if depending on the issues your child will have, they will do the birth at Boston Children's. But if they believe that they can stabilize your child before that, then they will have you give birth at one of the other local hospitals, and then they'll transfer your child to Children's. You know, it's kind of a pain because it's like, I don't want to like be somewhere else while my kid is now, you know, there. But like, you know, that's how they do it. You have to follow their procedures and everything. So she was officially born at like the Brigham hospital that's next to it. But she was immediately taken to Children's. And so my husband went with her to Children's while I was there being sewn up with my mom, who was wonderful and came to help me. And so it was really scary too, because like, I know I told you guys, but basically my daughter had what's called an omphalocele. And it's kind of like, you could think of it like a hernia, in that the chest wall or the abdomen wall has a gap in it that allows organs to come out. Not like out into like the hot air, but like out nonetheless. And so an omphalocele is when during development the baby's abdomen doesn't close. The skin doesn't grow all the way around it towards the belly button, and so they're left with basically like there's no skin over the top. It's just like a thin membrane from the internalness, the internal stuff covering the organs. And so it's like a little sack. I think when I talked about it previously, I was calling it a little sack, a little pouch. And so this little sack pouch is where all of her organs are hiding. And so they can't just like leave that stuff open out to the world. You know, it's kind of like I'd like it to exist inside the body where it belongs. But also for like safety, that like that pouch is covered by a very thin membrane, so it can easily be like ripped and opened, and then, you know, your intestines and liver and stuff are out floating around, and no one wants that. Those things should be hidden away where they belong. And so she was immediately taken to Children's. I was again left at Brigham to be sewn up and put back together. And it was very scary. It was extremely scary. I I don't know. I didn't have the best experience at Brigham. Like, the doctor was great and everything. The procedure went well. My hospital room was a corner room where they just sort of shoved me and left me there. And when I would call them and ask for help or tell them that I was, you know, in a lot of pain, it really felt like they were just blowing me off. So I was supposed to be hospitalized for 3 to 4 days, but after I think it was like 2 days, I was like, I can't do this. Like, I'm in a lot of pain, discomfort. I couldn't sleep because the pain was so severe. And so I ended up leaving the hospital early. Now to roll back a bit, when my daughter was taken out of the surgery room to Boston Children's, I was like feeling a lot of things at the time, of course. You know, I was cut open and I was laying there, and like most people are like, yes, I want to see my child immediately. But I was so scared. I don't do well with like gore and stuff. And like the thought of seeing her, you know, with organs outside when they should be inside, is pretty traumatic. It wasn't something that I really wanted to experience. So it was really hard because I wanted to see her, but I didn't want to see her medical problems. I didn't want those to be the only thing that I saw. Okay, so it's up on top. What a weird spot for it. Okay, maybe it's in another room. I think it's outside the building. Okay, cool. But so it was hard because, like, basically what we did is that, my husband went over, he walked over and saw her immediately. And I stayed in the bed, of course, because I was currently cut open. But he took a picture with his phone of just her face and brought it to me. So that I could see her, which I really, really loved that. It was exactly what I needed to be able to be happy, being able to see her and knowing she was, you know, okay, in some sense of the word, and that, you know, I wasn't the worst person who was not gonna, like, look at my child when she was born. Because, like, that is a really hard thing. You obviously want to see them. It's not like you don't love them. Of course you love them. It's just, it's a really scary situation, and, you know, sometimes you don't want your memory of that to be tainted by the horrible things you see. Like, I don't know. It's hard to put into words, but, like, yeah, you don't want to taint how you're viewing that moment, that situation, that experience. It was very hard because it did make me feel like a bad person. Like I was letting her down, by not immediately, like, running to her and hugging her, you know, even though that wasn't something we could do. We weren't really allowed to touch her, right off the bat. Because what they have to do is stabilize they have to stabilize the organs, essentially, by, like, wrapping it to keep it protected from the outside world. It reduces infection, chances, it, you know, it does all those things. It has been a year, so there are some parts of this that I'll be a little vague about, and it's just because my memories, you know, only so good. I'm old now. So I feel like I'm doing a real shit job here. But yeah, it was just a lot at the time. And I still like feel bad about it. I feel like I should have handled it differently, and I should have like immediately like, you know, gotten off the table with my stomach open and just run to her and hugged her. But like, you know, the way you imagine things isn't always how it'll be. And for me, that's how it was, you know? So I was able to go and see her at Children's that same night. We had her in the morning, so by evening I had been sewn up and was on enough drugs to be able to go and say hello. And so I walked a little bit to a wheelchair and then I was rolled to Children's. Because the thing is Children's is close to Brigham. They're connected by a sky bridge, but that does not mean they are close. It's still quite a walk, and especially when you're, you know, in a lot of pain and discomfort and things are not feeling good, it's definitely a hard sell to kind of want to make that walk. What is an octopus doing here? Rose just chilling. I do not see that crown anywhere, and I used up my radar, and I don't know where the crown could be hiding now. Wait, is it up there? Holy shit, I found it! Haha, fuck you monkeys. But yeah, so I made the trek over to Children's to see her, and it was hard. Like, she was in one of those little what are they even called? Baby warming stations? I don't know. It's they're the little beds that they put them in, but it looks like a little microwave box or something. So she was in one of those, just kind of chilling. They were keeping her warm and keeping her comfortable, and they had sort of wrapped up the pouch so it would be protected. And so this was the first time that I really got to like see her in person, and it was crazy. I don't know, man. There's just this moment that's crazy. It feels like nothing else when you see your baby for the first time. So of course I cried, you know, like any normal human would do. If you don't cry at that moment, you might be a robot. Why'd I have to miss that one coin? Jeez. And so we couldn't hold her really at that point. She was attached to a lot of wires. And you know, she wasn't necessarily the most easily accessible baby at that point in time. And I wouldn't hold her until, I think it might have been the next day or the day after. I don't remember for sure. I have a picture of me holding her for the first time. I have a picture of me meeting her for the first time. So it wasn't just that, like, you know, it was a moment that I can remember. I have the photo proof that it occurred. But Yeah, it was hard. I don't know, there's nothing normal or easy about seeing a baby like covered in wires and like, you know, not doing great. So it was scary. They basically were taking care of her around the clock, obviously. And she was doing pretty decent. One of the problems with that medical issue, the omphalocele, is that like because the organs are sort of outside, like the lungs don't really get pushed on by the organs, so it can make the lungs kind of weak. They don't build up muscle in the same way. So, you know, that's not great. We want them to be like strong. But you know, we did our best dealing with that. And I feel like I don't know that we would do anything differently if we had the choice to do it differently. You know, it definitely was scary, but like it was necessary, I guess. Yeah. Sorry, it was arranging to deal with stuff. But yeah, it was just hard. And I just want to check what other levels I have to do, because I think I'm getting up to the... Okay, I was gonna say I think I'm almost done, but let's switch to this one, because I tried the other level already once and I couldn't find any of the crowns or the other cousins, and I got depressed, so we'll do something else. But anyways, yeah, it was hard. They, for the first like week, they would come in regularly, like 2, sometimes 3 times a day, and sort of like poke the pouch to try to push it into the abdomen cavity. But they have to be careful because, like I said, the lungs aren't used to having to push against something. So if you just kind of like shove it on all at once, the lungs can't expand properly, and then it causes breathing issues. So you have to like really take your time with it. So they would come in, they'd push it all down a little bit, not like all the way, but you know, just a teensy. Essentially the pouch was being like held up over the baby to kind of like use gravity to its advantage as well, to kind of allow just the weight of itself to push down. And then they were just kind of assisting it by giving it those gentle pushes. So it wasn't really like, you know, heavy in human intervention. It was more of a combination. And so they did that for about a week, and then they decided they were good to do surgery. The surgery part was really scary. It felt like she was in surgery all day. Like, it really felt like it was a whole day thing. But I think it might have just been a few hours, but it's hard to tell, you know? We just kind of sat in the room and waited. At this point, I had been checked out of the hospital for a bit. Like I said, I think I said it, I didn't stay my full stay there because I was not having a good time with, the nurses and how I was being treated, so I decided that I didn't want to stay there if I felt like it would be worse to stay there. So instead we went back to the, it was sort of a hotel that we were temporarily living in. It's something the hospital offers, a discounted rate at a long stay furnished apartment, and so that's where we were temporarily living during this whole thing. We had actually gone out there to stay there at the beginning of November, where the C-section wasn't scheduled till the middle of November, because we were really worried about me possibly going into oh my god, what's the word? Going into words? Hello? Whatever, they were worried about me possibly going into labor early. So we were trying to be careful and make sure that we had all of our bases covered, so we went early to ensure that we were in the hospital or within the region of the hospital if that did happen. Because of her medical condition, it's a rarer condition, and so we wanted to make sure we were at a hospital that we knew could handle it, because otherwise she would definitely end up being likely flown out to Children's anyways. So we wanted to cut that off basically and get ahead of it. And so we went out there early so that we could do that. And it was, you know, it was something. The place that we were staying wasn't that far from the hospital. It was like about a 5-minute walk. No, 5 minute, I'm sorry. 15-minute walk? 5 minutes, my ass. Maybe if I was in like full form, it would be 5 minutes, but no, it was like 15 or more minute walk. Which is fine, you know, like if you're not the size of a house and you don't have your stomach cut open, then like, you know, that's a fine walk. Okay, now that I'm big enough, let's get these crowns. Forget the dog barking. I left the door open so I could hear if the baby was upset or anything, but that backfired upon me. Where the fuck is this crown at? It's on the roof? How do I get up to the roof? Oh, fuck, man. We're gonna have to do this level again. Is there like a ladder to the roof? How do I get up there? Do I just need to get big enough to like roll up there? Maybe I can go climb. No. What the fuck? Didn't see where the other crown is either, so don't fuck myself over. We'll just try to grow as big as possible and get on the roof. Okay. Sorry, I'm full focus now because I'm like, how the hell do I get up there? I feel like it's gotta be something easy and I'm just not realizing it or something. It's gotta be here, right? Oh, fuck. We're not gonna make it, boys. No! I gotta be doing it wrong. There's gotta be another way. We'll do it again. But yeah, so we were staying at this other place, and traveling to the hospital daily. I mean, we could have stayed in the hospital, but like, think about it. Like, that's intense on your mental health as well as your physical health. You're stuck in a hospital room looking at, you know, the situation in front of you, not ever taking any breaks. It's mentally exhausting. It's a lot to handle. So for us, it was best that we stay somewhere else and just come to the hospital daily so that we could have that sort of decompression time and sort of separate ourselves a little bit from, you know, the stressors of the situation and the events that we were dealing with. So, you know, that's what we did. It doesn't work for everyone that way. Like, some people much prefer to, like, be there at the hospital the whole time. It just wasn't our preferred option. We could have done that because they do allow you to stay in the hospital, but I don't know. That's a lot to deal with every day. I wanted to be able to go someplace and, like, actually get some rest without some beeping machines, nurses coming in and out constantly, being worried that something's wrong, you know, all those things. I wanted to be able to separate us at least even a little bit from that. And so the place we were staying was pretty nice, and they did like little events too, to try and like, you know, keep the people staying there like happy. So they did like little pizza nights and stuff. So that was all really appreciated. And then, you know, I think that like it gave us that little bit of an escape that we needed to keep going. And so, I don't know, we were there, let's see, from November through to, the end of January. So, you know, just a couple of days. Yeah, it was a while. Like I said, she did have her stomach surgery maybe a weekish or so after she was born, but there's more to it than just putting everything back in. She basically went the first week without eating because they wanted her to have a space to be able to put stuff back in, and if your stomach is full, then, you know, there's no space. So that was hard because she couldn't necessarily really eat anything that first week. So she was getting all her nutrition via IV. So she was still, like, getting what she needed. It's just in a different form. But so that means that she has to learn how to eat. She has to learn how to drink from a bottle. She has to, you know, go through all these hoops and stuff to, like, be able to move along. She, right after the surgery, yeah, you can come back, just, you know, spam an emojis, or I'll, do it again. But yeah, so she had to, like, learn how to eat and everything again. And she had to get used to having organs inside. So that was something. But it takes a long time, unfortunately. She had some other medical problems too. She had what's called a clubbed foot. Basically, like, the foot is sort of turned a bit. So they have to do stuff for that too. So she had to have like foot braces on. And then she had to get casts on her foot, and in the long run she ended up getting a surgery for that as well. But that was much closer to like January that we did that surgery. After she had the closure surgery where they like put everything back in and closed it up, she had to be on breathing assistance for a bit because, you know, like I said, the lungs get used to nothing pushing up against them, and then all of a sudden they have a whole bunch of organs poking at them, and that's not fun. So it took a bit for her to get used to them being there. But she did good, you know, as good as you can do as a baby in the hospital having surgeries. Yeah, this level is definitely not easy, and I'm not very good, so it doesn't help. Oh, whoa! Oh, come on. I know that there's probably another way because I see the ladder, but like, ugh. I want to go this way! Man, I'm fucked. I don't have enough time. Rips McGee. Oh, there's ladders here. Who would have thunk? Well, next time. But yeah, so, blah blah blah, surgery, lots of stuff happening. Craziness, yeah. After she finally got used to, you know, having organs. Yeah, it's definitely a hard level. It's such a pain. I don't see the other crown either. Like it's only showing me the one crown, so I have to get that first before I can figure out where the other one is, I guess. But yeah, so once she got used to it, the big focus was on eating. Figuring out how to eat, getting her to eat, making sure she was eating enough, because like that's the other thing is when you take a stomach that was previously outside and had all the space in the world, and then you put it inside and say, okay, now stomach, you are supposed to stay in this tiny space and, you know, also eat. It's not very simple because there's just not the space. Talk to you on my mic? What do you want me to say? I could say thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I do. How long should I pause? I'll give you another minute. I feel like you gotta be typing something. Something. Okay, I said something. I know you're there. I am here. You are there. We are playing together. Most people watch my VODs later, so I'm not as used to people being here wanting me to talk to them. Let's Let's see. I do... Man, I know that the first crown was in this area, so I feel like the second crown has to be in the main area. Well, the second crown's probably the one that's on the roof, because they expect you to get it when you're on the ladder. But... I guess where's the third one then? Dun dun dun! Okay, let's go to the ladder. I'm faster than a speeding horse. Okay, up the ladder we go. Okay. Nice. Wish I could bounce on my butt like that. Fuck. Squeeze past these big birds. Yes! Okay. Well, let's see. Tell me the crown is on that man and he's too big. Yeah. Am I gonna have to come back up here after getting bigger? Yes. The answer is probably. Big rips. Okay. We'll go back down and get a little bigger before we try again. Because my main goal right now is just to get the crowns. Okay, back to story. Let's see. After a bit, she was getting pretty okay with eating, but it took it took months. And then we had to like figure out, you know, what do we do to go home? Because she wasn't eating enough from a bottle to be able to just go home. Because she was still on a lot of additional nutrition, both IV nutrition and she was eating from a stomach tube, I guess you could say. So we had to decide like the next steps. And so like, I don't know, they gave us some options, but like I was having a difficult time coming to terms with the options available, because like they wanted us to put a more permanent feeding tube in, essentially. It's called a G tube, a gastro tube that goes directly into your stomach. And attaches to a little like machine that pumps the food into your stomach. But like there's a lot that can go wrong with that. Like there's infection, there's I don't know, other things. You get the gist though. I was scared of it. I think this should be big enough. Maybe to at least knock him down. I don't know. We'll try. Because I'm worried about getting too big and not being able to go up the ladder. Come on, camera. You could do it. Ooh, okay. Oh, I was hoping I could, like, roll up the man. Like, roll up the side of him. I think I'm still too small. Dang! I think we're gonna end up having to try again. I don't think we can do it in the amount of time we have. Oh, and my foot fell asleep. Ah, the curse. We could try. We did it! Alright, I can see the whole world, but I do not see the other crown. Ah! Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, we can do this. 30th time's the charm, as they say. Let's skip ahead in the story. Basically, now we're home. We were able to bring her home. We ended up deciding to put it in the G-tube. We really didn't have much choice. If we waited, we would have to stay at the hospital for longer. And you know, I'm in the US, so the longer you're in the hospital, the bigger the bill you get. So, we needed to go home. We were running out of the monies. You know, I understand hospitals have to make a living too, but they're a building. They shouldn't have to make a living. They should just take care of the people inside them. But anyways, it was hard, you know. We had to get used to using the G-tube. When she had the surgery to put in the tube, she also had the surgery on her foot. She did a tendon release surgery. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm in New Hampshire, so I'm in the mountains of nowhere. But so she had tendon release surgery, which I swear is like the thing of nightmares, because like the only thing I think of when I think of tendon release surgery is like a bad guy hiding under your bed and like cutting your Achilles tendon while you can't escape, you know? So I don't like that. No, Mr. Cat, don't do it. Oh, I feel like I'm doing worse this time. That's okay. But yeah, that was fun. And then she had another stomach surgery at the same time, because the muscle gap was a little bit larger than they wanted it to be. She's at the point now where she'll still need additional surgeries, but she's doing good. So, you know, we take it a day at a time. But yeah, so she had foot casts for a while, and then she switched to what's called a Ponseti brace. It's like a metal bar that goes between two shoes, and then the shoes are turned in a way to like angle your feet and hold them in place. It doesn't look comfortable, to say the least, but they adjust it over time, so it's not like it's always the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Like, it's just kind of turning your foot to the side, so it's not like painful. It's more annoying than anything, from my understanding. So she had that, and she had to wear that pretty much 24/7 for maybe like 3 months, I think it was. And then now she's currently switched to wearing it only at night. So, you know, she's doing better. And once we got home, she started eating really well. She started drinking out of a bottle, no problem. She was like, I just hated those fucking doctors. So that was great. I mean, That was what we were hoping for. So once she started taking bottles really well, she started growing pretty quickly. She has a physical therapist that comes to our house, so I don't have to like go out, which is great because as a person who works from home and stays at home and doesn't like the world, not having to go out is a 10 out of 10 would recommend. So I was pretty happy about that. And the physical therapist is super nice. She helps us with a lot of stuff. So it's very appreciative. Appreciated? Yeah, that's the word. Let's see. Since then, you know, we still have tons of doctor visits all the time, but like... Oh no, I got stuck. Okay. But it's not as bad as it was before. Oh my gosh. Okay, okay, okay. Finally big enough to roll the barrels. Good, good, good. But yeah, so I'm home now. She's doing super good. We haven't been having much trouble with things. She's gotten to the point now where she walks, which is whew, insanity to me. Hell, I can barely walk most days, let alone like a baby walking. Blows my mind. Okay, we got 2 minutes. I think we got enough time to... Oh my god, I'm stuck. If we could just get on the roof, I think we can get the crown. And I have enough beverages that we are covered there. Come on. We could do it. It's like a spy movie where everything's timed. We got this. Hell yeah. Okay, let's try to get as much as we can in the meantime. Oof, oof, oof. Huh. Oof. Okay, we got one crown. Did I get the crown? I just looked and it didn't look like it was, I don't think it actually picked it up. I'm gonna scream. I don't think it picked it up. Ah! I'm gonna lay on the ground and cry. Oh, that sucks. Girl, I hate that. Well, I got a new record though, so that's cool. So we're gonna keep trying. Oh, that's rough. That's really rough. I thought I picked it up. Oof. Well, round 2. After playing the same level 30 times, round 2. But yeah, so, she's doing well. It's been a long journey. I wanted to stream like a number of times, but I was just busy and exhausted. During that time, I also switched jobs twice. So like, you know, it's been a bit of an adventure. The job that I was working at when I was in the like before I got hospitalized was being like the worst in the world. They They essentially were like, work from the hospital or lose your job. Which, like, yeah, of course I wanted to work because I didn't have money and they don't do a paid leave. So, like, what option did I have to pay my bills? But I don't know. It's just pretty fucked up. And then, like, my boss was starting to get, like, a big, like, bitchy attitude with me. About, like, having to stop for a second to listen to a doctor talk. Stuff like that. So, like, it was basically me set up in a hospital room with my fucking PC programming, holding my sick daughter, while my boss berated me. So yeah, it was fucking great. Gotta love, you know, the United States of America. It's so fucked up, man. It's so fucked up. And then, like, it was hard because my boss almost, like, was harassing me to some degree, where she was like, when are you gonna come back? When are you gonna be working more focused? You know? And it was just so wrong. And then she went and hired somebody to do my job. So it was very clear that once I got back and enough time had passed, they were going to fire me. Because the job that I was doing was more like future development, so there wasn't enough to be able to say that, like, they needed another developer right now. Because it wasn't stuff that was, like, super important for the job. It was, like a wish list that I had been working on, almost. Is the best way I could explain it. So, like, it was not necessary for them to hire someone else. And then they wanted me to train her. And I was like, okay, it's very clear what's happening here. I'm not gonna fucking do this. And so I started looking for a new job. I ended up getting hired for a contract position, which is supposed to be contract to hire. They pretty much promised a permanent position, but you can't trust anyone's promises, so I didn't, like, you know, I didn't bet on that. So yeah, I was looking for a job while still in the hospital, while still working my old job. And so I was literally doing interviews from a hospital room, which is just atrocious. This is the America I live in. And it's sad. I didn't get paid leave from my job for maternity or anything like that. They only offer unpaid leave, and they don't promise your job upon return. Which is pretty fucked up. My husband's job didn't offer paternity leave, but they were really flexible with him. So, like, you know, it was a little bit easier. He still ended up having to work from the hospital, but the way that we did it for him was that he worked from the hotel room, while I worked at the hospital. And then after a certain amount of time, we couldn't... We had to come home, you know? We have pets, we have dogs, and we couldn't just leave them by themselves. And, like, my mom had been staying here taking care of them, and she had to go back home. So, like, we had no choice but to have one of us come back home while the other one stayed in Boston. And so that was difficult because, like, you know, neither one of us wants to leave. We want to support the other one, but we also, like, want to be there for our child. So it was, like, real shit. It was real shit. And so we just did the best we could, which was really hard. And yeah, we ended up, my husband, he went home, and I stayed at the hospital. I still stayed at the hotel, but I stayed in Boston. And we just kind of bet on that my job wouldn't fire me before we had to go home, you know, before we could finally get home. But I can't trust that. So yeah, I was interviewing while I was still there working in a hospital room, talking to doctors on a daily basis. My daughter was having surgeries, and I was interviewing for a new job and trying to figure out a way to pay our bills. But yeah, I got a contract position. Again, they promised full-time, but like, can't believe that. Companies are liars. Come on. Come on, roll up the ladder. Okay, okay, we could do this. Okay, we definitely got it this time. So I got the contract position, and then when we got home, I, the company that I got the contract position at was acquired, which, you know, if you've ever worked in, any job that, offers contract positions. What the fuck? It's behind, it's inside the, oh fuck. I do not fit inside there. We can try. Nope. Ran out of time. That's okay. We'll do it for the next round. At least we know where it is, and we know the size. We know we can get it. Woo! Girl, it's crazy. Once we get it, that'll probably be it for today. But yeah, I got the stupid contract position, and they were like, yeah, this is gonna be permanent. We're gonna keep you. It's gonna be great. And then the company got acquired, and I was like, well, I know I'm out, because the company that acquired us does not use the same software. Excuse me. So I knew that they were going to get rid of me because my expertise is in that software. I develop tools for that software. I work in that system. So if they're not using that system, they obviously don't have a position for me. So I started looking for a new job again. And I did find a job. I am very happy with my current job. I am doing a manager role, which, like, I will say is something that I never wanted to do, and I still don't really want to do. I don't like being a manager. I don't like having to, like, tell people what to do, or, like, tell them when they're in trouble, or, like, any of that stuff. I am much more chill than that. I like being friends with my coworkers. I don't want my coworkers to hate me, you know, normal stuff. So yeah, I was pretty... I mean, I was happy to have the job because, again, bills to pay, medical debt. I joke that my daughter is $1 million baby, but it's no joke because her medical bills are over $1 million. And, like, insurance doesn't cover it. Insurance doesn't cover all of it. It covers some of it, but it doesn't cover the majority of it. So here I am in debt up to my eyeballs. So, you know, I just have to focus on dealing with that. Figuring out how we can pay it off, figuring out what options we have for financial assistance, all that jazz. And so, yeah, it's been rough. I thought about coming back to streaming, like, pretty soon after we got home. But my daughter's actually really great when it comes to sleeping at night and stuff like that. She is not a weepy, whiny baby. She sleeps really well through the night. She got used to lots of noises in the hospital. So, like, we don't have trouble with her sleeping at night or anything like that. But, you know, it's a lot of stress. And stress can like really affect you physically and mentally, and it can make things hard. And so that's, you know, that's where we were at. We were very, very stressed. We'd been dealing with it for a long time, months, and it catches up to you. And so I've been exhausted. And then I already have immune system issues, and I've been getting sick all the time. As you can maybe probably not tell, but you can probably tell. I am sick right now. I have a cold of some sort. But like, you know, I'm just taking it as I can every day at a time. But it's not getting easier. Well, sorry, it is getting easier. It's not getting harder. So at least there's that. And I do feel more okay about everything. So I felt like it was, you know, maybe time to stream again. It had been long enough. Maybe people missed me. But yeah, I missed it. I really enjoy streaming. I like talking to you guys and just kind of babbling. It's very nice to be able to kind of, I wouldn't say get it off my chest, but just to be able to like have someone to talk to. Working from home, working remotely is nice, but there are negatives to it, and it's that I'm alone. I mean, I have my husband here, and we talk all the time. But, you know, you can only do so much with one person. Sometimes you wish you had somebody else to talk to so you could talk shit about that one person. No, it can be hard sometimes. So I did miss streaming. I was still gaming a lot. I just wasn't streaming it. But yeah, so I mean, sort of back. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm gonna be on like a regular schedule again or anything like that. It'll probably just be here and there for a little bit until I get, you know, comfortable again and like get into the swing and routine of things. There's a lot of stuff that I would like to do. And I guess this is a starting point to kind of get me ready for the other stuff. That sounds dumb, but what I mean is I want to build myself up to the hard stuff by doing the easier things. So streaming again is an easier thing because I am used to streaming. I enjoy streaming, so sort of forcing myself to stream is not the hardest, worst thing in the world. But, you know, doing those other things is much harder. So if I start with this, then I think I can make it to the other stuff without as much trouble. So yeah, here's hoping. I'm trying to find another beverage. Okay, I got the beverage. Okay, I was like, I'm never gonna fucking succeed. But yeah, camera, come on. I just want to be able to feel comfortable, confident, and like prepared for things. And so this is kind of the first step, I guess. Because I want to get back to living, I guess. I know I keep saying I guess, I'm sorry. It's like I don't even know the answers to what I'm trying to say. But I've spent so much time like living for my daughter and like living to care for the situation and like what's going on that I haven't done much as far as like things that I want to do or like taking care of myself. So I've been trying to get back into doing that. Barrels. I want those barrels. Well, I'm suddenly up here. I can get on the roof. Nope. The answer is no. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to be okay functioning, I guess you could say. I want to be able to do all the stuff that I used to do. So I'm just working on that. We did it, we did it, we did it! Nice job, everyone! Did we do better than last time? We got a new record and we got all 3 crowns. Bruh, we did it. Nice. Okay, kiddos, we are going to call it there. You know, it's been fun talking with you guys. I know I've just kind of been babbling about things going on in my life, but like, you know, that's kind of what we do here. We listen to me babble, we talk a little bit, and then I run away. I'll try to stream again next weekend, but like I said, it'll probably be a little bit up and down from here on out, just because I've got a lot going on in my life and I'm trying to like become a human again. So, you know, fingers crossed I can do that. Well, for now, that is all. I will see you guys next time. I love you guys. Bye.